Hello everyone. This is 39th session of Computer Application in Business of 5th semester BBA affiliated to Bangalore North University. In this 39th session, we are going to understand types of databases, objectives of database system. Let's understand what we had studied in the previous session. We concentrated on views of data as to what is data and what is database. The purpose of this session is to enable students to understand the different types of database and the objectives of database. In simple terminology, a student should know what are the databases which are created, how it is created, and why it is created, and what is the purpose of creating this database. The session outcome would be student will be able to understand and explain the different types of databases and discuss the objectives of the system. This session contains the types of database, which has broadly two categories: centralized database, distributed database. Along with that, we are going to understand what is the purpose of having this database. Before we move on to different types of database, let us understand the meaning of database. A database is an integrated collection of logically related records and files along with their details about their definition, interpretation, manipulation, and maintenance. In simple terminology, it is a collection of information that is organized so that it can be easily accessed, managed, and updated. It contains the data records or files, and it is a systematic collection of data. So whenever we are collecting the database, there are two ways in which we can collect, store it, and make it available to the users. One such type of database is centralized database, abbreviated as CDB. This is a database in which the information is stored, located, and maintained in a single location. This central location is most often a central computer. Say for example, it can be a desktop or a CPU or a mainframe computer. See, basically the information will be stored and maintained in a single location. It works on a client-server basis. The controlling mechanism under this database system is centralized and data are deposited in a central location. Security will not be a crucial part because all the data will be stored in a single database system. It is basically used by the users on a client service basis. It comforts the user to access the stored data from different locations through different applications. The controller of the whole database is made by the database administrator, and it is most suitable for small organization and small scale operations. So when we talk about this centralized database system, the need for it arises when a business has several processes running for various departments simultaneously. In these cases, organization wants to check the data regularly. So since the database required is common for the various departments, say for example, employee database. So it's a common database required by all the departments. So in such cases, the centralized database system will be helpful. This kind of database system, getting information is quicker with more ease and makes the data available in a single location or a place. By using LAN or WAN, the data can be accessed by the different clients. So the picture here shows the centralized database. It's in one location. There are different clients. They are the users of the database. They will be accessing from the one single source. So this is a type of database which is centralized database system. Now let us move on to the other type of database system which is called as distributed database. So like how centralized database system where database is concentrated in single location, here distributed database is spread across many geographical locations. It consists of multiple databases that are connected with each other. The data that is stored in various physical locations can be managed independently. It is much suitable for such type of organization which is spread all over with similar objectives and similar data set. These kind of databases can be easily expanded and more secure when compared to centralized database system. The major limitation is the cost of accessing is very high and more complex when compared to centralized database system. The data stored in different locations can be accessed through internet connection. Now let's move on to the objectives of database system. What's the purpose of having collection of information? So very basic purpose is centralized data management. So when compared to traditional database system where file processing system was used and lots of drawbacks were there in accessing, updating, maintaining the data. To overcome this, the data are stored in a particular place. The database, the information are stored in a particular place so that it can be easily accessed by the multiple users. So the objective of the database system is to have centralized data management. Then it also aims at data integrity. Data integrity refers to validity of data stored in the database, and this has to be imposed by a database because it will be accessed by the multiple users and it has to be controlled. Valid authentication is required and also there is a need for ongoing error checking and validation. So, database systems aims at enforcing data integrity. Next, it also aims at controlling data redundancy. Data redundancy in terms of duplication. So, in order to eliminate duplication, it is designed by integrating various files and each logical data item is stored in a stored location. As it is one of the easy way of creating a database system, everyone would like to create and maintain a database, so which results in data redundancy. So therefore, database system ensures that it is controlling the data redundancy. Database also aims at data sharing. As we know that there will be multiple users for the data which is stored in database. So there are various application programs are used for sharing the data. So database system aims to facilitate sharing of stored database among multiple users and application programs, and further new applications can be developed by using the same stored data. Let's move on to the other objective where the database tries to ease the application development by overcoming concurrent access, security data integrity, etc. Let's move on to data security. Database system has data security checks. Whenever access is attempted to sensitive data, the RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, ensures that the only means of access to database is through authorized channels only, so with which we can ensure the data security. We have multiple user interface. The very intention of developing a database system is to make available the data for different users. So in order to meet the needs of various users having different technical knowledge, database provides different types of interfaces such as query languages, application program interfaces, and graphical user interfaces, making multiple users to access the data simultaneously. Apart from that, there is a need for backup and recovery. See, storage of data in a database ensures security, safety, as well as there is a need for backup. So, in case any failures in the hardware or the software, there is a need for a system for backup and recovery of the database. So, therefore, database system provides backup and recovery mechanisms or subsystems that is responsible for recovery from the hardware and software failures. Apart from that, it aims at enhancing the performance. It emphasizes response time to inquiries suitable to the use of data. Means to say, what is the efficiency in accessing the data, storing the data, updating the data is equally important. So, database system aims in seeing that inquiry which is made by a user and the response given to that, the time is very short. So, easy access, accurate data, data security, ease of application development, multiple user interface, backup and recovery, centralized database management system are some of the objectives of database system. As such, we all know that database is created. That's because all informations are required to be placed in a single storage or a location which can be easily accessed by multiple users on a client server basis. Therefore, database aims at all this is application development, security, backup and recovery. Now, after understanding this concept as to types of databases and also the objective. So just to sum up, we understood what is a database. Database is nothing but collection of information that is organized so that it can be easily accessed, managed and updated. Overcoming to the limitation of the traditional maintenance of database system, that's manual, maintaining the files, processing the files. There are two types of database system. One is centralized database system and distributed database system. So we understood how data is stored in a single location in a centralized data system and how information is stored in different locations and how it is accessed with the help of communication network, that's internet, in distributed database system. Both has its own merits and demerits. So based on that, let us go through some of the multiple choice questions. Let's see whether we'll be able to answer it. We know that centralized database system works on, there are multiple options given, client basis, client servers basis, then server basis, none of the above. So initially we understood that centralized database system works on, yes, you are right, it is client server basis. Now let's move on to the next multiple choice question. Distributed database is more suitable for dash. Let's see the options. Only A, that is both A and B. It is suitable for large organization, heterogeneous system. So as we are all aware that centralized database system is suitable for only small organization. So obviously we can say that distributed database system is suitable for both A and B. That's large organization dealing with heterogeneous systems. Let's move on to the other multiple choice question. The objective data integrity indicates dash. Is it the validity of data, sharing of data, recovery of data, and none of the above? Yes, you are right. The answer is validity of data, because integrity is basically the validity. Let's move on to the next multiple choice question. Security is a crucial part in centralized database, distributed database, both A and B, none of the above. Yeah, answer is it's in distributed database. Let's move on to the last multiple choice question. Which one of the following is not the objective of the database? Security, sharing, redundancy, performance. So, which is not the objective? Redundancy, because the database system aims at controlling redundancy. Okay. So these are some of the books for references. Thank you.